measure, police have shut down most of
All right, guys, now lose them. Sada nije tako teško.
Just like the old days, eh?
In the old days, we were dodging bombs, not loan sharks.
Just drive. Leave the funny comments to me.
police brutality. One resident said after his scuffle with police...
Do you think they saw me?
Rockstar is one of the best names in the business. Take-Two's premier group of institutions has cemented its place within the industry, thanks to a consistent and quality output of games over decades at this point. Many such games have gone on to garner great fandom and long-standing legacy. Case in point, Grand Theft Auto, which is Rockstar's pinnacle of open-world offerings. Each entry in the franchise has been met with great critical and commercial reception, and rightfully so. Hence, the games do need to be preserved, and the legacy needs to be carried on, which is best done through the use of remasters and remakes. Rockstar knows this, and the recently announced Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy Definitive Edition is already on track to release this week. Rockstar Dundee seems to have put a lot of effort into making these classics appealing to a modern audience. A shift in Epic's Unreal 4, a redone lighting system, increased draw distances. There's a lot to appreciate about the game. While it might not align with what many fans might be expecting from the release, the games certainly seem to be a notable step up from the originals, as they sit in a comfortable spot between a full-fledged remake and a low-effort by-the-numbers remaster, with the original trilogy now being brought to a modern audience with a souped-up presentation, and Grand Theft Auto V still being Rockstar's cash machine, thanks to hundreds of thousands of fans logging into its online component on an almost regular basis. 2008's Grand Theft Auto 4 now sticks out like a sore thumb due in today's gaming landscape.
You're about to be a statistic.
Stay down there.
Especially given how many fans consider it as one of the better entries in the franchise. Given the demand, it's shocking that Grand Theft Auto 4 has yet to receive any remaster, and as such should be the next game to receive a similar treatment. Grand Theft Auto 4 is a special game in this long-running open-world franchise, known for being one of Rockstar's most earnest stories to date. The franchise is known for putting commentary on social issues front and center with the Grand Theft Auto games, such as the gang culture in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and would give a similar take on modern society with Grand Theft Auto V. Grand Theft Auto 4 also does this by slowly uncovering the many realities of the dreams that bring many people to other locations, but all of this mostly plays second fiddle to a more grounded revenge story of war veteran Niko Bellic. The game's atmosphere and the city also stand out among other entries in the franchise. This can majorly be attributed to Rockstar's great art direction, which contrasts sharp visuals with a muted color palette, which gives the environments a striking yet understated look. The city itself is, in true Rockstar fashion, a playground of possibilities. There are a ton of secrets to find, jobs to carry out, and of course, many opportunities to go bowling with Niko's eccentric brother, Roman Bellic. Grand Theft Auto 4 is also the first mainline 3D Grand Theft Auto to get post-launch support. Originally a Microsoft-partnered Xbox exclusive, the downloadable pack was a fine addition to the already lengthy base game's offerings of single-player content. The DLC features a decently sized single-player campaign, which introduces us to some pretty interesting characters, as they partake in equally daunting adventures. Many have demanded similar single-player expansions from Rockstar for Grand Theft Auto V for a long time now, which is a prospect that currently seems highly unlikely at this point in time. By remastering, or better yet, remaking Grand Theft Auto 4 for modern platforms, many such players might get something along those lines to satiate their thirst for Rockstar's single-player campaign.
Subject last seen on foot.
Most importantly, however, a Grand Theft Auto 4 remaster or a remake is needed because it's almost impossible to play the game on any modern platforms now. Well, except for the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles, thanks to backwards compatibility. Grand Theft Auto 4's PC port was an unoptimized mess, and running the game even on modern hardware causes many issues, both in the graphics and performance departments. On Xbox, through backwards compatibility, a nasty bug makes the game almost impossible on the current-gen machines. Grand Theft Auto 4 runs at 60 frames per second on the series machines, which makes a QuickTime event in one of the final missions almost unbeatable, as the game wouldn't register enough button presses thanks to an increased frame rate. Those in the PlayStation ecosystem don't have the option to play the game on either PS4 or PS5. Those who would even go back to the original game on their original platforms will have to put up with subpar visual quality and frame rates, which, while not a big deal at the time of the game's release, do become noticeable problems today. Many big-name publishers have taken to remastering and remaking older entries of their beloved franchises for some time now. We have the likes of the Resident Evil series, who has been getting remakes for some time now. We've got Resident Evil 2's remake in 2019, which was followed soon after with Resident Evil 3's remake just last year. Take-Two Interactive knows the potential of Rockstar's darling franchise. It also knows the remasters are relatively lower-effort projects that are known to sell well, more so in the case of Grand Theft Auto's monstrous market credibility. Perhaps this is why Take-Two and Rockstar decided to sell the Grand Theft Auto trilogy as a separate package, as opposed to bundling it with those who would buy Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS5 and Xbox Series X or S, according to a recent Kotaku report. Rockstar also recognizes that such projects can be entirely delegated to many of its smaller studios, like Rockstar Dundee, while the bigger ones, like Rockstar North, Rockstar Toronto, and others, work away at developing presumably the next entry in the franchise.
Please don't hurt the men after us, cousin. They hate me enough as it is. Get us back to the depot, quick!
While it remains to be seen how Rockstar Dundee's efforts of bringing back the PS2 classics pan out, it would certainly be a catalyst for a potential remaster or a remake of other entries in the franchise, if the venture turns out successful, of course. That said, Grand Theft Auto 4 definitely needs to exist on modern platforms anyways, so why not a remaster at this point? Take-Two knows there's a lot of money to be made with such a venture, and as such, a remaster of Grand Theft Auto 4 would probably be in the cards at this point, making the whole affair not a question of if, but just when. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.